The following challenge run you are about to see is completing the shipping collection in Stardew Valley as fast as possible, with one caveat: I won't be using the travelling cart. With one necessary exception that will come up later in the video. The limiting factor of this run will be holly, which without the cart can only be obtained by foraging as normal on the 1st of winter. But there will be other hard parts to the run, like maxing out my skills, getting foraging mastery, and growing a mystic tree to get its mystic syrup, as well as getting both Ginger Island trees with enough time remaining to harvest their fruit. In addition, I will not be animation cancelling. Why? I don't want to. However, I do make use of the Stardew Predictor website at one point, but only to make sure that a few things are possible. More on that later in the video. How will I get all 154 items in the shipping collection by winter 1? It's time to find out. Day 1 of spring. I start this run like all the others. Plant parsnips, chop trees, craft a chest. However, I'm chopping extra trees to get to 300 wood early to fix the beach bridge. Doing this gives me access to the tide pools where I can pick up coral and sea urchins and make use of them to craft a bait maker. By putting catfish in one, I get catfish bait, which quadruples the rate at which I catch catfish. Then I go to the forest and harvest the spring onions. I ship one, as these items are spring only and I want to get them out of the way, and after that, I eat the rest to chop more trees. Near those spring onions, I pick up a dandelion, then a daffodil from the bus stop, and a leek near Linus's tent, with just a wild horseradish left for the spring foraging bundle. The rest of the day spent chopping trees, but I check the saloon at 6 PM. The dish of the day today is a lucky lunch. Really useful for the first day in the mines, but too expensive. I need the money for a fiberglass rod. Day 2 of spring. After watering the parsnips, I fish outside Willie's shop until right before it closes, then go in. I got level 2 fishing just in time, but can't buy the fiberglass rod as I'm short by about 400G. I buy catfish bait for later, then leave. The rest of the night is spent fishing at the lake, then I pass out, losing 100G, but getting level 3 fishing. Day 3 of spring. Today is the first rain day of the game, but I can't use this day for fishing catfish as they are too hard at my current fishing level. Instead, I go to Willie's shop. I buy the fiberglass rod as well as bait. However, despite making several notes on the matter, I did forget to buy a single copper ore, and as I got a Neptune's glaive today, I can't reset as that sword is simply too useful. Remembering the simplest things really is the hardest part of the game. As I walk to the lake, I'll comment on the farm map chosen. I picked the Riverlands farm, which will give me a boost in money via the free fish smoker, but is the worst farm for hardwood as it has the fewest stumps and logs. The only way to compensate for this is to rush the iron axe so that I can get hardwood out of the secret woods, and I am on track to reach Ginger Island on the 23rd so long as I have enough money by then. This is actually my second try at the whole run. I picked the forest farm on my first try, but without the free fish smoker, I just wasn't getting money at the rate I needed, and trying to craft a fish smoker instead of starting with one is a massive pain as the various jellies are too rare. From fishing at the lake, I got 7 smoked largemouth bass, worth a total of about 3300G. I also got a ruby and rare disc, the latter being shipped as it's worth more as money than in the museum. Day 4 of spring. After washing my parsnips, I head to Willie's shop to sell some of my unsmoked fish. As I wait for his shop to open, I fish a bit and get a fire quartz from a treasure chest. With 5 gold ore from a few days ago, I don't need to go all the way to floor 80 in the mines to complete the boiler room. Floor 55 will suffice. Then, when Willie's shop opens, I sell my fish and buy some more catfish bait. I go to Pierre and sell my smoked fish, and then go to the museum to donate the rusty cog, which gets me 250G in a quest reward that I can claim later. I almost forget to go to Clint for a 3rd time, but I do go to him and buy 20 copper ore to make a furnace first thing tomorrow. I also buy some coal to smoke some fish. I spend the rest of the night fishing at the lake, then ship my fish and smoked fish for money tomorrow, and finish by fishing at the farm to use up the last few hours of the day. I don't get anything interesting, but I do get level 6 fishing, which lets me craft a bait maker to make more catfish baits. I don't have enough coral for that yet though. Day 5 of spring. Today, the mines are available for the first time. I get a cutscene with Clint and Money back to back, but I skip both so I don't meet them. Then I harvest the parsnips, shipping 1, and chop trees until I have 300 wood, and then buy 25 more copper ore from Clint along with 5 coal. I put my furnace in Clint's shop and smelt my first copper bar. I'm sure his house won't burn down. While waiting for the copper to cook, I repair the beach bridge and pick up 2 corals and 3 sea urchins. I put another lot of copper in to cook and buy kale seeds. I put another lot of copper in and read the Junimo scroll. I put another lot of copper in and sell a single sea urchin and oyster to Willie. Then I put my last lot of copper in and just stand there for half an hour. When all 5 bars are done, I buy the copper axe upgrade, then leave. Before I go to the mines, I plant the kale and mixed seeds and set up my inventory for the mines. I enter at the bright and early time of 5 PM. I reach floor 15 right before 10 PM, which is okay for only having half the day to do it in. I decide to not try for floor 20, instead farming copper while cooking the iron ore I have. Day 6 of spring. I water the crops and then set up my inventory for the mines. Between yesterday and today, I have a bunch of items on the ground which will vanish if I reset the day, so I don't want to reset the day unless things go really wrong. Then, in the mines, I go from floor 15 to floor 40 right after 9 PM, smelting my copper as I go. I also get a few rice shoots which I can grow into unmilled rice to get that out of the way. I end the day with 6 more iron bars worth of iron, 11 copper bars, 3 carrot seeds, and 3 bat wings for the boiler room. Day 7 of spring. I water the crops, then go to Clint to get the copper axe. On the way, I check out the beach and pick up a coral, letting me craft a bait maker. However, I have no way of buying the iron axe today, which puts me even more behind on the hardwood front. But, with my axe, I chop 5 stumps to get hardwood for the construction bundle, and trees for a scarecrow and the construction bundle, as well as, finally, a chest for the mines. No more using the ground as my storage. I chop more trees at the mountain map, then descend further in the mines to floor 50. On the way, I get more bat wings, and once I reach floor 50, I go a bit further to floor 52, where I get a soul essence from a ghost. I smelt 1 more iron, then return to the farm. I have 2 items left to complete the boiler room, a gold bar and a wild horseradish. I couldn't find the latter, but I have enough gold ore in the home chest, so I get that smelting, and chop yet more trees until I have the 200 I need for the construction bundle. It is at this point where I check the save on the Stardew Predictor website. Thus far, the only rain day I've got is the forced one on Spring 3, and I need the money from spring rain days to reach Ginger Island as fast as possible to get items like radioactive ore and mangoes. If there aren't any rain days at all, entry to Ginger Island could be delayed to the point where there won't be time to grow a mango tree to maturity or get a Hard Mines quest for radioactive ore, and I don't want to reach the end of spring and have to scrap the run due to weather RNG. Day 8 of spring. It's time to meet the wizard. I get a gold bar as well as a bunch of items from the chest, then go to the wizard after watering my crops, getting a wild horseradish on the way. I meet the wizard, instantly skipping the cutscene, and go straight to the community center, completing the spring foraging bundle. Then, I get the rest of the items from the mines chest and complete the construction bundle, as well as the whole boiler room. Then, I gather my bait maker and fish smoker and fish and smoke largemouth bass until 7 PM where they can't be fished anymore, then spend the rest of the night fishing bullheads, the next best fish for money and XP. By the end of the night, I have 5000 G worth of smoked fish, And before I pass out, I pick up my bait maker and fish smoker and grab my iron ore from the mine's chest. Day 9 of spring. I water the crops, then while waiting for Clint to open, I cook one last iron bar, and farm for coal and iron in the mines. I grab the iron bar once done, and pick up my fishing rod, coal, iron ore, furnaces, fish smoker and bait maker. On the way to Clint, I sell my smoked fish to Pierre, then buy the iron axe upgrade from Clint. Then, the rest of the day is spent fishing largemouth bass and then bullheads, smoking the largemouth bass, and smelting the iron as I go. I get 2 diamonds as well as 2 largemouth bass roe. With the perk from the Jewels of the Sea book I fished up a while back, I can get roe from treasure chests, which saves me from needing to buy a fish pond. Day 10 of spring. I water the crops and harvest and ship the carrots. Then, instead of going straight to the fishing spot, I buy some extra coal from Clint, then fish all day until I pass out. I get another diamond, and at this point I have 30,000 G worth of smoked fish and iridium bullheads, which means that I am on track to be able to go to the desert festival. Day 11 of spring. The kale is ready to harvest, so I harvest it, bringing me to level 2 farming. I have nothing to plant right now, so I go to the mines to farm for coal before getting my iron axe from Clint and submitting my pickaxe to be upgraded to copper, paying for it in diamonds. My leftover money is used to buy coal, then I spend the rest of the day fishing and smoking largemouth bass, then fishing bullheads. This is done until 10 PM, where I drop off some items back home and go to the secret woods. As I'm not on the forest farm, the only source of respawning stumps I have is the 6 respawning stumps in the secret woods. Out of the way, but I need the hardwood. Day 12 of spring. I farm for coal, buy some more coal from Clint when he opens, then fish all night until 10 PM, where I once again chop the stumps in the secret woods and chop a few more trees for foraging XP. But I do get level 10 fishing today and pick the angler profession so that my fish and smoked fish sell for more. Unfortunately, I can't sell them directly tomorrow, as tomorrow is the Egg Festival and both Pierre and Willie are not open on that day. Day 13 of spring. I have enough money in fish and smoked fish to buy the vault with 20,000 G left over, but the only way to sell it today is to ship it for money tomorrow. I also don't go to the Egg Festival today. Before 1.6, the Egg Festival would be a compulsory visit, as it is the only source of strawberry seeds, and strawberries are one of the 154 items I need to ship in the run. In 1.6, I can visit the Desert Festival instead, and pay for the seeds with Calico eggs. Instead, I spend all day farming coal in the mines while smoking the last of my largemouth bass. Until 10 PM once again. I gather my fish and smoked fish to sell, and my diamond and ruby to trade for a triple shot espresso and spicy eel respectively. To end the day, I go into the secret woods and chop the stumps, before chopping even more trees. Overnight, I make 65k gold, mainly from fish and smoked fish, but I also ship the morel I got from the secret woods yesterday, which is another item down. Day 14 of spring. Demetrius visits me first thing in the morning, and he offers me a choice between a mushroom cave and a bat cave. The mushroom cave saves me 10,000 G by giving me a free dehydrator for dried fruit, raisins and dried mushrooms. The bat cave provides fruit tree fruit that I otherwise would have to buy saplings for, saving me up to 25,000 G, so I get the bat cave. Then I buy the vault completion for 42,500 G, giving me a free crystallarium, lightning rod and quality fertilizer for the strawberries. I also pick up the spring seeds from the spring foraging bundle. These are an important backup if I don't ship all 4 primary spring forage by the end of spring. I coal farm for a bit, then get my copper pickaxe from Clint. I coal farm a bit more, then buy 40 salads and 8 coffees from the saloon, and spend the rest of my money on sewn for ladders tomorrow. The rest of the day is spent farming copper for cherry bombs tomorrow, but I ship some of the gems I get to make sure I have 500 G tomorrow for the bus ticket. To end the night, I chop the stumps in the secret woods and then set up my sprinkler layout for the strawberries tomorrow, passing out in front of my house. Day 15 of spring. Today is a big day, the Desert Festival. Before I go, I till around the sprinklers, water the tiles, and fertilise them with quality fertiliser, then go to the desert. First, I go to the desert trader. I buy a spicy eel and 2 triple shot espressos. Then, I visit the chef. He offers 21 different dishes based on the combination of dish and sauce, and I pick the combination with +3 luck and +1 speed. Then, I pick the Skull Cavern quest that requires reaching level 30 and enter Skull Cavern. From Skull Cavern in the Desert Festival, it is possible to get enough Calico eggs to buy enough foraging skill books to level almost all the way to foraging level 10, which I need to do in this run to open the Mastery Cave, get the Mystic Tree Seed recipe, grow a Mystic Tree, and get a Mystic Syrup, which is one of the 154 items I need to ship in this run. Unfortunately, achieving this requires more setup than I could do in this run, and I get so few Calico eggs that once I buy the 28 strawberry seeds I need, I don't have enough to buy a single skill book. I got 53 eggs from Skull Cavern, 50 from the quest, 25 from Gil, 5 from the trash can, and 50 from the scholar. After buying the seeds, I bought 2 mystery boxes. Could be useful. I leave the desert at 9 PM, which gives me 5 more hours in the day to play with. I plant these strawberries and set up a fishing spot on the farm with a fish smoker, bait maker, 2 furnaces to smelt ore, and a chest for extra treasure I get. Then I chop the stumps in the secret woods and pick up a few salmon berries too, which I ship so that I don't need them from the Batcave later. Overnight, I get level 5 mining where I get the miner profession for extra ore. Day 16 of spring. Today is a rain day, so I spend all day fishing at the farm for catfish. Prior to doing the previous day, today being a rain day presented me with a dilemma. Do I get foraging XP from the Desert Festival, or do I get money? Since I couldn't get any foraging skill books yesterday, the answer is clear. Fishing, smoking, and smelting. Until midnight, where catfish stop appearing, so I go to the secret woods to chop stumps and pass out shortly after. Day 17 of spring. Fishing and smoking. But I take a short break at midday to buy the Jojo membership so that I can buy the greenhouse repair tomorrow, plant starfruit in there the next day, and have those be ready on the final day of spring. I ship my smoked fish at midnight and chop the stumps in the secret woods until I pass out. Day 18 of spring. I start by moving my furnaces and fish smokers to the mines. I want to get enough copper and iron bars today to craft 24 sprinklers to fill the greenhouse completely with seeds. Then I farm for iron and coal and find a mining skill book while doing so. I gather my artifacts from the mines, ship a coffee bean, and sell 9 gold smoked catfish to Pierre, getting me 8000 G to buy deluxe speed grow today. I buy 90 speed grow, pick up some coconuts and cactus fruits, and ship those too. I fill up my inventory with various artifacts and submit them to the museum, which gets me 9 cauliflower seeds and 9 melon seeds for free. Then I buy the greenhouse repair for 35k and return to the mines, where I spend the rest of the night farming copper. At some point, I get an ancient seed artifact, and if I donate this to the museum, I'll be able to grow an ancient fruit plant, which is good to get started on as soon as possible, as it takes up to a month to grow. At midnight, I finish farming copper and move my furnaces and fish smoker back to the farm, as tomorrow is raining and I'll be fishing. I ship today's smoked fish and chop the stumps in the secret woods before passing out. Day 19 of spring. Fishing, smoking, and smelting. Until 3 PM, where I sell the fish I've smoked thus far to Pierre for extra money to buy seeds. By this point, I've also finished smelting my ore and have the 24 basic sprinklers I need. With 18,700 G, I buy 39 starfruit seeds and 31 rhubarb seeds, ensuring every tile I plan to plant in is filled, and that I have as many starfruit as I can buy. This will ensure that I will get farming level 6 on the last day of spring, so that I can craft quality sprinklers on the first day of summer, as I have a lot of starfruit to plant then to max out my farming skill. Then, I lay out the sprinkler pattern, till the tiles, fertilize them, plant all the seeds, water the seeds, then place the sprinklers. I do mess up the sprinkler pattern in the bottom right, but this just cost me a single tile. Not a big deal. Then, when I'm finally done, I spend all night fishing. For a single hour. After that, I chop the stumps in the secret woods once again, and then pass out. Day 20 of spring. Today is mainly about descending in the mines. I move my furnaces and fish smoker from the farm to the mines and descend level by level while smelting my ore and smoking my fish. But I take a short trip to Clint to buy some ore and to submit an ancient seed artifact for a plantable ancient seed. Right before midnight, I reach level 80, then leave to chop the stumps in the secret woods. Day 21 of spring. Most of the day is spent farming gold until I have enough for at least 31 bars. I need these bars for quality sprinklers on the 1st of summer. Right before midday, I visit Clint again so that I can buy more coal with the gems I have. At 4 PM, I get a Yeti tooth from a special slime, which I switch to as it is better than my current weapon. Shortly after, I finish farming for gold, so I switch to looking for quartz and fire quartz to smelt into refined quartz. As I go, I collect some stone and copper to go from 2 furnaces to 5 so that I can cook this stuff faster. Then, I leave right before midnight to chop even more stumps. Day 22 of spring. For today, I start looking for quartz and fire quartz until I feel I have enough, at one point making my way to level 85 due to a string of lucky ladders. At midday, I leave the mines, sell some of my smoked fish to Pierre for extra money, buy the iron pickaxe upgrade, and buy the bridge repair from Jojo Mart for 25,000 G. Due to the timing of things, I won't have my pickaxe for tomorrow and the 24th, but it's worth it to have an iron pickaxe when I enter Skull Caverns. I also chop the large log that blocks the way to the alleyway buffet book. Once I finish farming for quartz, I farm for coal as I'm running low and it is too late to buy more. At 9 PM, I leave the mines, chop 2 stumps on the farm, and chop the stumps in the secret woods before chopping some more trees for foraging XP. Day 23 of spring. I harvest the first round of strawberries, then spend all day fishing, smoking and smelting. But I visit Clint at 11 to buy 50 coal. At midnight, I chop the stumps in the secret woods. This gets me to level 6 foraging, but this isn't as big as it sounds. I'm now at 3,300 foraging XP, but this is only 1/5 of level 10 foraging at 15,000 XP. I've got a long way to go to get there. Day 24 of spring. Today is the second festival, the Flower Dance. There are no shippable items exclusive to this festival, and I don't have enough hearts with anyone to make use of the dance, so I just skip it. Instead, I start by clearing out the bat cave. I find an apricot, a pomegranate and a cherry, which means that the bat cave has saved me 11,000 G, already more than the mushroom cave could. Then, I plant some trees on the farm, which will go towards leveling up foraging when they are done growing. It will take just under 1,000 trees worth of foraging XP to max out that skill, but I also have the large stumps and random forage, and the whole map will be covered in trees halfway through summer. I also find another leek, which is the last spring forage I need to ship, and saves me from needing to grow spring seeds. I give Demetrius a gold strawberry in the 3-hour window he is out of his house today, and spend the rest of the day chopping trees. First at the mountain, then at the forest, where I take the fish smoker with me to smoke my catfish while I chop the trees. After that, I clear the secret woods, and with some time to spare, I plant some more trees in front of the Adventurers Guild. From smoked fish I've shipped today, I make 32,000 G overnight. Day 25 of spring. Today is yet another rain day, so I spend all day catching catfish. But I leave at noon to buy 250 deluxe speed grow, as today is the last day I can buy it from the oasis before summer. I also buy 31 starfruit seeds, mainly so that when I pass out, I lose less money. I continue fishing until midnight, then clear out the secret woods. Day 26 of spring. I grab my furnaces and fish smoker and go to the mines. While waiting for Clint to open, I farm dust sprites, then pick up my iron pickets from him. Before returning to the mines, however, I visit the quarry to partially clear it for XP and resources. When done, I descend in the mines, up until 1 PM, where I visit Pierre to sell some smoked catfish, and finally buy the first backpack upgrade. Then, I buy 3 green bean starters, 3 potato seeds, 3 tulip seeds, and 3 jazz seeds. It may seem late, but don't forget, I can grow these in the greenhouse or Ginger Island at any time. After that, I visit the desert trader, give Demetrius a gold strawberry, then return to the mines to descend from level 90 to level 100, laddering past a monster floor. I ignore the star drop for now, and end the day by clearing the secret woods before passing out. Day 27 of spring. Today, the second round of strawberries are ready, but I leave them for tomorrow, as the farming XP from harvesting the crops in the greenhouse will result in more gold strawberries. Then, I go from level 100 to level 120 in the mines, finishing at 4 PM, and spend the rest of the night farming iron to craft bombs for when I enter skull caverns, as well as stone for staircases. Before I leave, I eat the star drop, then I clear the secret woods and pass out. Day 28 of spring. Today, the crops in the greenhouse have finished growing, all at the same time. I enter the greenhouse and harvest everything, making sure to harvest the starfruit last, so that the levels I get increase their value. Then, I harvest the strawberries, getting me an extra 9 gold strawberries, double the yield of what I would have had yesterday. Then, I get my fish smoker from the mines, put it in front of the house, and clear the farmland in front. I had planned on tilling and fertilizing 31 quality sprinklers worth of starfruit on the farm, but I remembered that I still have the tiles in the greenhouse. I can plant some of tomorrow's starfruit today, saving some required work tomorrow. So, I sell 25 smoked catfish, visit the desert trader, where I buy 19 staircases with the jades I have so far, and buy 55 starfruit seeds. Then, I give Demetrius a gold strawberry, and move my shipping bin out of the way of where I'll be planting tomorrow. After that, I place flooring where I'll be placing sprinklers tomorrow, grab my ancient seed from the mines, and plant that along with my starfruit in the greenhouse. I craft a second scarecrow and place both on opposite sides of the planting area, and move my basic sprinklers to the left side. When done with that, I farm coal and stone in the mines and clear out the secret woods before passing out. Overnight, I reach level 6 farming, letting me craft quality sprinklers, and I choose tiller for the level 5 farming profession, so that the crops I've harvested today will sell for about 5,000 G more. In addition, from shipping smoked fish and miscellaneous gems and fishing tackles, I make 27,000 G overnight. Day 1 of summer. Today is a big day. I grab the fish smoker back from the mines, as well as resources for sprinklers, and till, fertilize and water the farming area. At 9, I sell yesterday's crops, but save the quality strawberries to give to Demetrius. At noon, I go to the oasis and buy 164 starfruit seeds, then continue with watering, laying fertilizer and planting seeds. As I do that, I'm still smoking the catfish from a few days ago, and I return to Pierre to sell 8 more smoked catfish. I'm going to buy the panning upgrade from Jojo later, but I have a surplus of nearly 4,000 G, so I buy some melon seeds. Then I buy the panning upgrade and return to the farm, where I finish watering the starfruit, plant the melons, lay down the quality sprinklers, and plant even more melons where the extra basic sprinklers are. There is enough starfruit here and in the greenhouse to reach farming level 10 on the 10th of summer, but the extra melons will give me some leeway in case I lose a few. When I'm finally done with this, it is 11 PM, so I clear the secret woods and pass out. Good thing I planted some starfruit yesterday. Overnight, I get level 7 foraging. This means I'm now at about 1/3 of the way to level 10, but I have also unlocked the tree fertilizer recipe, which will get me foraging XP faster by growing trees faster. Day 2 of summer. I had considered visiting Skull Cavern today, But the luck is bad, and I have trees to fertilize. I run around the forest and town whacking weeds for fiber to craft tree fertilizer and fertilize any tree saplings I find. As I do this, I get the JoJo completion cutscene. With the forest and town exhausted of fiber, I farm it from the weeds on floor 81, and fertilize the trees between the mines and the Adventurers Guild. I also finally finished smoking the catfish from 5 days ago. Feeling like I fertilized enough trees, I farm a bit of coal and bat wings, craft 5 lightning rods and place them at the farm. Then I chop a couple trees on the farm, chop the log on the farm, and clear the secret woods. Day 3 of summer. I quickly set up my inventory for Skull Cavern, then warp to the desert. Before the clock has time to hit 7 AM, I get a rabbit's foot from a serpent on floor 4. This saves me from needing to spend 20,000 G on buying the 3rd level coupe. On floor 22, I get a scene maker from a treasure chest. On floor 35, at 1 PM, I get the first prismatic shard of the day. On floor 43, at 2 PM, I get a second. Floor 62 isn't a bat floor, but as it's the big round layout, I do get a couple bats, and the first bat I whack gets me a battery. 1 down, 4 to go. On floor 65, at 9 PM, I get an auto grabber from a treasure chest. Neat! Finally, right before 10 PM, I decide to leave Skull Cavern as I'm running out of food and I don't want to lose that rabbit's foot from dying. But I'm on floor 68 and it would be nice to go one more, so I do. Floor 69 is small and packed with stones, so I place a mega bomb and let it blow. This gets me the 3rd prismatic shard of the day, which has presented me with a choice. I can either use all 3 to buy a magic rock candy tomorrow from the desert trader, or I can use 1 to get the infinity sword. I decide to get the magic rock candy as I've done okay with my current weapon, and the extra luck will get me through floors faster, helping me find more iridium bats for batteries. Right before midnight, I leave Skull Cavern, visit the desert trader, clear the secret woods, and pass out. Day 4 of summer. I gather the 3 prismatic shards and the smoked fish and clear out the bat cave. There, I find a peach and an orange, which means that the bat cave has now saved me 21,000 G. Then, I smelt some iridium and gather some artifacts to donate while I wait for Pierre's shop to open. While I do this, I find 180 fiber that I missed the day before yesterday, so I craft 36 more tree fertilizer. I donate the last dwarf scroll, which gets me the dwarvish translation guide. This will let me speak to the Volcano dwarf, which may be helpful. Then I give Demetrius a gold strawberry, sell my smoked fish to Pierre, build a coupe, and spend the rest of my money on salads, leaving 500 G for a bus ticket. I visit the desert trader, buy a magic rock candy, chop all the palm trees, and return. I plant some trees in the backwoods, fertilize them, and use the rest of my fertilizer on the last few saplings on the farm. Then I smelt 5 more iridium bars, and with nothing left to do, I farm some more coal and iron before clearing out the secret woods and passing out. Day 5 of summer. I'm all set for today's Skull Cavern dive, but in addition, today is a good luck day, which means that finding ladders will be even easier. Before I leave, I quickly read the mail so that I get the quest where Mr. Key gives me 10,000 G for reaching floor 25. Regardless of what happens today, I'll get the money tomorrow as I reached floor 25 on the 3rd. On floor 16, right before 9 PM, I reached level 10 mining from the various gem nodes. On floor 22, I get 2 rain totems from a treasure chest. The main use for these will probably be forcing rain on Ginger Island for clues to the 4 gem puzzle, and to get the 5 mermaid nuts. Right after, I get a crystallarium. More jades! On floor 68, I get another prismatic shard from an iridium node. Finally, on floor 98, right before midnight, I get 2 batteries from 3 bats. I'm now at 3 out of 5 to repair the boat. Instead of risking these items by continuing deeper, I leave Skull Cavern, visit the desert trader, put my items away, and clear out the secret woods. From reaching level 10 mining, I choose the blacksmith profession so that the iridium bars I smelt sell for more. Day 6 of summer. Today is about setting up for a skull cavern attempt tomorrow. I start by receiving 10,000 G from Mr. Key in the mail, then I craft about 10 furnaces and smelt the iridium ore I got yesterday. Then I sell 5 iridium bars to Clint and convert one of my prismatic shards into a galaxy sword. It may not be the best, but it is value for money. Any more prismatic shards I get will be kept for enchanting. While waiting for the iridium bars to finish smelting, I farm for stone and pick up 5 gold bars. Then I cement my axe to be upgraded to gold and sell 3 more iridium bars to pay for salads. Usually I only upgrade my axe and pickaxe to iron, but in this run I have a lot of trees, stumps and logs left to chop, and I need all the help I can get. Then I buy 60 salads and decide to finish the day with stone farming. But I check the monster eradication goal out of curiosity, and I only have 60 dust sprites left to complete that eradication goal. I can do that in one night. I farm dust sprites until 11:30 PM, where I complete the eradication goal and get the burglar's ring, which effectively doubles monster drops. This will help a lot with getting batteries from bats. Day 7 of summer. Today is the 4th day in Skull Cavern, if you count the desert festival. I warp to the desert, buy 9 staircases and then enter Skull Caverns. On floor 61, on a long and narrow prehistoric floor, I get a battery. On floor 74, I get 2 batteries in a row. It is too late to fix the boat today, but I'm still ahead of the worst case scenario by 7 days if I fix the boat tomorrow. So, I keep going for money from iridium and combat XP from monsters. At midnight, I leave Skull Cavern, visit the desert trader, and then go to bed. Day 8 of summer. Today, I need to repair Willie's boat, but there is also some other preparation to do. I gather resources to fix the boat and smelt some quartz, iron, and gold for sprinklers for Ginger Island. I also grab the slingshot. Then, I retrieve my gold axe and sell some of my iridium bars. I buy 4 melon seeds and wheat seeds for the gourmand frog, and 128 radish seeds for the 5 harvesting nuts. Then, I buy the big coop upgrade and give Demetrius another gold strawberry. I visit Willie's shop and submit the 5 iridium bars, 200 hardwood and 5 batteries to repair it. After that, I set up some items for Ginger Island, including a fishing rod, gems for the 4-gem puzzle, a watering can, and 17 freshly crafted sprinklers for the seeds I have on me. After that, I have little I have to do, so I spend the rest of the night farming combat XP, and then clear out the secret woods. Day 9 of summer. Today is the first day on Ginger Island. But before I go, I retrieve some iridium bars from the mines, grab a rainbow shell from the beach, then wait another hour for Willie's shop to open. On Ginger Island, my strategy is once again east, north, west. But I skip the 4-gem puzzle for now, as I want to find it out for myself, and I want at least a few clues before I brute force it. After feeding Larry's parrot 1 nut, I go to Island North. This takes place as normal. I get the hoeing nuts, the nut bushes, and the nut from hitting the tree with a slingshot. But I also get the 2 nuts obtained by going left on the Lava River. Then, Island West. I go counterclockwise, getting till spots and nut bushes, sliming the tiger slimes, then repair the farmhouse with all the nuts I have. Then I clear the north half of the farm, and plant the melons, wheat and radishes. I pre-water the melons and wheat, but don't bother pre-watering the radishes. When I've done with that, I chop the logs and stumps here, and then ship that rainbow shell I got earlier, before going to bed. Day 10 of summer. Today, the massive amount of starfruit and melons are done. But, before I harvest them, I get 2 nuts from muscle nodes, and 1 nut from a till spot I missed yesterday. Then, I warp to the desert as a makeshift farm warp totem, as I don't have any of those. I harvest the melons and starfruits in that order, and when I'm done, I'm at farming level 10. 3 skills down, 2 to go. When I'm done, I sell all of my iridium bars, buy a barn as well as some extra wood and stone, and craft 9 preserves jars. I also give Demetrius another gold strawberry, then visit Marnie's ranch. I buy 1 white chicken named Egg, 1 brown chicken named Cookie Egg, 1 duck named Duck Egg, and 1 more duck named Featherbird. I also buy a pail and shears for later, as well as 75 hay. With 53,000 G left, I go to Pierre to sell my crops. Except I can't. He's closed. So I decide to change my plans a bit. I buy 129 starfruit seeds, making sure to have 1000 G left, and then buy 7 coffees from the desert trader. I plant today's starfruit as well as a few mixed flower seeds, then ship enough melons and starfruit to buy the rest of the starfruit seeds tomorrow. The auto grabber from a few days ago gets placed in the coop, then I return to Ginger Island. On Ginger Island, my plan is to visit the Volcano dungeon and get some gold walnuts out of it. I get a nut from a monster at the entrance. I get a nut from a monster on floor 1. I get a nut from a common chest on floor 4, as well as 2 nuts from stones. I get a nut from a crate on floor 5. And finally, I get a nut from a rare chest on floor 9. In total, I have 7 out of 17 nuts from the volcano. At 1 AM, I leave by using a desert warp totem and run home. I plant the pineapple and summer squash seeds I got today, and ship a magma cap and ginger as well, then go to bed. Overnight, I get all the way to level 10 farming, where I pick the artisan profession to get more money from artisan goods. And I get 83,000 G overnight from items I've shipped. Day 11 of summer. Today is the day of the luau, which I'm going to visit, but like a lot of festivals, I have until 2 PM to attend it. The first thing I do is farm a little bit of coal to smelt some copper, and when these copper bars are done, I craft 4 tappers. I return to the farm and place 1 tapper on a pine tree, 2 tappers on oak trees, and a tapper on a maple tree. I want 1 of each syrup to ship, and I want a second oak resin to craft a keg so that I can produce and ship keg products. Then I pet the animals, ship a few random items like ores, coal, a piece of wood, a bat wing, and a bone fragment, among a few other things, and go to the desert. There, I buy 140 starfruit seeds before planting them on the farm. Only 6 tiles got untilled, but I accidentally left my hoe on the island, so I can't till them. Oops. With everything planted, I go to the luau, picking up random forage on the way. At the luau, I chuck a gold melon into the soup, talk to Demetrius, and begin the feast. I hope Demetrius is prepared for an unforgettable soup. When the luau is over, Demetrius is at 3 hearts, and the time is 10 PM. The last thing I do is farm void spirits for combat XP, where I get a squid ink from a squid kid. 1 more item for the shipping collection. Day 12 of summer. I buy a single rare seed, plant it in the greenhouse, and pet the animals before returning to Ginger Island. While I bought the rare seed from the travelling cart, the cart is the only way to get the rare seed, and the rare seed is not random in the same way that the primary stock of the cart is. On the island, I grab my axe and hoe, and get 1 snake vertebra from a stone, 3 gold walnuts from muscle nodes, and 1 more snake vertebra from the same muscle node I got the last muscle node nut on. I know which stones drop what I need by mining them, writing down which stones drop what, and resetting the day. No predictor needed. Then I go to the dig site, but on the way I find a gem bird which tells me that the upper gem is an emerald. From 125 combinations, I'm down to 24, but I'd like 1 more hint before I brute force the puzzle. I pay 10 gold walnuts to fix the dig site bridge, get 2 fossilized legs and a fossilized ribs from bone nodes, bomb away the stone trapping the professor, grab a chanterelle from the cave, get a snake skull from a dig site till spot, and donate the bones I have to clear out my inventory a bit. Completing the snake skeleton gets me a mango sapling, which I plan on planting in the greenhouse tomorrow. It's critical that the mango and banana saplings are never blocked from growing, and the only way to guarantee they will grow as fast as possible is to grow them in the greenhouse. I fish at the Digsite River and pan wherever I see panning spots, but while I do end up getting a fossilized spine, I do not get the tail. While waiting for another panning spot, I grab the till spot nut and the 3 nut bushes above the dig site. I submit the spine and complete the 2 island surveys. Returning to the dig site, I don't see another panning spot, so I visit the volcano. I get 2 nuts from stones on floor 1, as well as a nut from a monster. I get a nut from a stone on floor 2, a dragon tooth from a lava lurk, and a mummified bat as well. I was only after the bat, so I leave the volcano. In addition, I now have 11 nuts out of the volcano, and I'm also finished with stone nuts as well. I donate the bat, then visit the dig site. I get a defense book from a till spot, but the panning spot doesn't give me what I need. Rather than wait for another panning spot, I repair the island trader post for when I get my first gold coconut, and then fish near the island farmhouse for gold nuts. Either I got lucky, or the newly added deluxe bait massively helps with this, as I got all 5 gold nuts right after 1 AM, with plenty of time to spare. Day 13 of summer. I grab a mummified frog from the jungle, and then check a panning spot at the dig site before going into the volcano. Today, after 5 days on the island, I'm finally reaching the forge. I get a nut from a monster at the entrance, and a nut from a lava lurk on floor 2. I also get another dragon tooth, which means I finally have enough to buy the banana sapling, and I get a nut from a crate as well. On floor 5, I buy the island warp totem recipe. They may be useful if I need to reach the island during a festival, or if Willy's shop is closed. Finally, right after 4 PM, I make it to the forge and get the 2 nut bushes there. However, I don't enchant anything, as I want to figure out which order I should enchant in. I grab my mango sapling, craft an island warp totem, and buy a banana sapling from the island trader and return to Stardew Valley. Unfortunately, I'm barely too late to pet 2 of my animals, so I plant my 2 saplings in the greenhouse, pick up some starfruit jelly that finished today, and ship an apple I found in the bat cave. Having found every fruit tree fruit that spawns in the bat cave, I have now saved the full 25,000 G that the bat cave can save in my situation. With a few hours left in the day, I chop the mahogany trees at the farm and plant the mahogany seeds before going to bed. Day 14 of summer. I start by petting the animals and chopping the mahogany trees. It's been raining non-stop for a while, so the animals have been eating more hay than usual, and their friendship is progressing slower, as they're not getting the benefits of fresh grass. I go to the mountain and chop the mass of trees I've planted. I've decided not to use the green rain to grow moss on these trees, chopping them instead and using the green rain to grow the tree seeds I plant in their place. The first tree I chop there gets me to foraging level 8, which means that I have the equivalent of 675 trees left to chop to reach foraging level 10. With that done, I buy the barn upgrade and then open my artifact troves and omni geodes. I get a few pearls and a gold pumpkin, plus items to donate to the museum, but the most important item is the bone flute. Donating this gets me the flute block, which I'll be using later today. With everything done, I go to Ginger Island, grab the gems I need for the 4-gem puzzle, and complete that puzzle. With 2 clues, I only needed to try 6 combinations. I buy the island resort and go to Island Southeast. With my 1 flute block, I do the mermaid puzzle, taking great care not to trigger the block twice on the same note. Then I get the starfish nut, the till spot, and leave the Island Cove till spot until I do the darts minigame. Next up is the forge. I enchant my pickaxe with swift for faster mining, my axe with powerful so that I can chop hundreds of trees faster, and my sword with a ruby for extra damage. I also get the till spot near Birdie's hut, unlocked by a journal note, and get a gold coconut from a tree as well. By this point, I've checked the nuts I have, and I should reach 101 nuts once I've done the darts minigame, the Gourmand Frog, and the 5 harvesting nuts, so I can focus on chopping trees for foraging XP now. I check the dig site, then chop all the trees from there down to the farm. On the way, I get a journal note which unlocks the till spot to the right of the beach, which I get before chopping most of the trees on the Island West map. Day 15 of summer. I head straight back to the farm, pet and feed the animals, and continue chopping trees. I chop the trees above the farmhouse, open my gold coconut for a gold walnut, chop the trees in the quarry, chop the trees in the bus stop, chop the trees on the island to the right of the barn, plant a ton of tree seeds there, chop the rest of the trees on the farm map, plant even more seeds there, and chop a couple trees in the forest. Day 16 of summer. I pet the animals, kill a few void spirits, give Demetrius a gold strawberry, chop the trees at the railroad, chop the trees in the backwoods, replant the seeds there, then chop the trees in the forest. Until 8 PM, where I warp to the island and go to the island cove. Here, I do the darts minigame. I get a perfect game on the first one and win the second and third games first try. I till the till spot, then leave. I spend the last few hours fertilizing tree seeds and planting even more tree seeds before grabbing the starfruit jelly that just finished, shipping it, and going to bed. Day 17 of summer. I place 3 mushroom logs outside, pet my animals, craft a 3rd crystallarium, clear the secret woods, then visit Marty's ranch. I buy a cow named Mui, a cow named Milko, a goat named Gotorinio, and a goat named Ioioie. Then I buy the 3rd barn upgrade, give Demetrius a gold strawberry before spending all night farming combat XP in Skull Cavern. Day 18 of summer. Today, the melons are ready over on Ginger Island, but more importantly, I have the Green Rain event today, which means that most of those tree seeds I've planted those last few days are now fully grown and covered in moss. So, I spend today chopping as many trees as I can and destroying as many 2x2 weeds as I can. Those 2x2 weeds also give foraging XP, 15 each, which is slightly more than what a tree gives. I clear the bus stop, which brings me to foraging level 9, right at the start of the day. I go to the bookseller, chopping trees on the way, and buy a foraging skill book for 10k, reading it right after. I clear the right side of the mountain. I clear the quarry. I talk to Demetrius. I clear the left side of the mountain. I clear the railroad. I clear the backwoods. I pet the animals. I clear the farm. I pet more animals. I chop even more trees at the farm. Finally, I chop trees and clear weeds in the forest until the clock hits 2 AM and I pass out. I lose 1000 G, but it's worth it. Overnight, I get level 9 foraging, but not level 10. But with all those trees nuked, I must be close. Day 19 of summer. First thing I do is ship all but 1 stack of wood and all of my sap. With all the farm buildings done, I don't need much wood, but I do need the storage space. Then I craft and place 24 mushroom logs next to the greenhouse, along with a few tree seeds. I pet the animals in the coop, sell a few magma caps, buy a pig I name Piggy Boy, pet the animals in the barn, and then visit Demetrius. It's his birthday today, so I give him another gold strawberry, bringing him to 7 out of 10 hearts. I'm gonna get that Nautilus shell soon, I can feel it. Then I go to the island. I get 5 nuts from showing the Gourmand Frog a melon, 5 from showing him wheat, and 5 from harvesting some of those radishes I planted before entering the nut room. I check the quest board, and the quest on the right is a Danger in the Deep quest I needed. I have 3 days to complete it, but I don't care about completing it. All I want is 6 radioactive ore, 1 to ship, and 5 to smelt into a bar. I rush to the mines and enter at 3:30 PM. Right after 6 PM, I find a Nautilus shell that's just sitting there. I guess I don't need to befriend Demetrius anymore. Finally, after repeatedly resetting floor 1, I have enough radioactive ore. I get 1 bar cooking, then return to the farm to ship some items, in particular my remaining radioactive ore, my radishes, and my nautilus shell. Another round of starfruit jelly is done, which I ship before going to bed. I make 54,000 G overnight. Day 20 of summer. After petting and feeding the animals, I chop a few trees while waiting on Money's shop to open, then I go to her and buy a sheep named Wooly. Then I visit Pierre, buy every seed of every summer crop I haven't shipped yet, and buy the dehydrator recipe. With the resources I have, I craft 3 of them and get some dehydrated starfruit going. I still have to stick mushrooms and grapes in there, but that can wait. With that done, I take the bus to the desert and spend all night combat farming. I got extremely lucky today, and floor 1 is an infested floor, so I get a lot more spawns of slimes and serpents. I also get combat level 9, but I'm the equivalent of 250 serpents away from combat level 10. Right before 11 PM, I leave Skull Caverns. I visit the saloon, buy the triple shot espresso recipe, and 16 triple shot espressos worth of coffee. I cooked those coffees with a campfire. With only a couple hours left in the day, I grab the radioactive bar from the mines and squeeze as much XP from the dangerous mines as I can. However, this turns out to be a waste of time, as the enemies on floor 1 drop their standard XP despite the added stats. Day 21 of summer. After petting and feeding the animals and smelting some ore, I spend the first half of the day chopping as many trees as I can. I chop the trees on the farm, the trees in the forest, clear the secret woods, chop the trees in the desert, then return to the mines. With the copper and iron bar I smelted, I craft a keg and stick a starfruit in it. It'll take a while to produce a wine, but that just gives me time to grow the other crops. I chop the trees outside the Adventurers Guild, but by that point, I've chopped all the trees I can get quickly, so I decide to spend the rest of the day farming combat in Skull Cavern. Neither foraging nor combat gets leveled today. Day 22 of summer. Today, the mushroom logs have produced some mushrooms, so I put some different types of mushrooms into the dehydrators for the shipping collection. The goats and cows have finished growing, and I get my first milks today, which I ship to get them out of the way. Then, I spend the rest of the day farming void spirits for combat XP. Despite having less XP than serpents, I can kill void spirits faster, which makes this strategy faster overall. Day 23 of summer. I grab and ship the dried mushrooms from yesterday, every item from the auto grab in the coop, and the agent fruit from the greenhouse, and these all get shipped. For coop items, all I have left is the large round egg and the different mayos. Then I farm void spirits some more, taking a break to buy a ton of stone. Right after midday, I finally get level 10 combat, so I return to the farm, put some items away, and get my axe to chop some trees. Hopefully, the few trees left are enough to crack that nut. I chop a few trees near the Adventurers Guild, I chop the trees in the backwoods, I chop the trees at the farm, and right before 4 PM, I check my skills and I've reached level 10 foraging as well. This has unlocked another experience bar, Mastery. Any XP from any skill goes into this bar, and I only need a single mastery level, Foraging, so that I can craft a mystic tree seed, and later get a mystic syrup from it to ship. First thing I do is harvest the starfruit. They've been ready for a few days, but I've been waiting on them as they're more useful as mastery XP than money. Harvesting this starfruit gets me over 50% of the way to the first level in mastery, so I go to the mines to farm ores to prepare for a Skull Cavern day tomorrow. In terms of in-game days, Skull Caverns is the best way to get mastery XP, especially as farming XP converts to mastery XP at a rate of 50%. Day 24 of summer. I grab a large brown egg from the coop and pet the barn animals before going straight to Skull Cavern, visiting the desert trader on the way. In Skull Cavern, my main goal is to reach the first mastery level by breaking gem and iridium nodes and killing monsters. Secondarily, I want iridium to craft crystallariums, as I need a lot of ladders for the day that I get garlic seeds and red cabbage seeds from Skull Caverns. On floor 49, I get a treasure floor where I get another auto grabber that I'll stick in the barn. At 5 PM on floor 51, I get a dinosaur egg from a dinosaur. I'll be turning this into mayonnaise later for the shipping collection. 1 hour later, on floor 67, I reach Mastery level 1. I go a bit further for a bit more iridium, but leave after reaching floor 70. I go directly to the Mastery Cave, claim the Foraging Mastery, and craft 3 Mystic Tree Seeds. These get planted to the left of the barn, fertilized with tree fertilizer, and surrounded by paths so that other debris does not block their growth. After smelting my iridium and gold, I find enough acorns to craft and plant a 4th mystic tree. I'm not sure on how to calculate the estimated time for any tree to reach maturity, but each individual tree is expected to grow to maturity in 2 weeks. Day 25 of summer. Now that the mystic trees are growing, the next 3 days are basically just about knocking out as many non-time gated items as I can. I retrieve the gold and iridium bars from the furnaces, get some more gold bars smelting, and then reset floors 11 and 21 for earth crystals. These are needed to craft mayonnaise machines, but I don't need that many as I only have 4 different types I have to ship, and void mayonnaise isn't coming until later. Once I have 2 earth crystals, I make 2 mayonnaise machines and return to the farm. I make 2 cheese presses, 1 for each cheese, then get a mayonnaise going, and harvest the mushroom logs once again. These mushrooms will be turned into fall forage seeds so that it is easier to get hazelnuts. Then I visit the barn, I get a wool to ship, and stick a milk in a cheese press. After that, I put the 2 winter roots I have into the seed maker, buy a magic rock candy, craft some more seed makers to process my common mushrooms into fall foraging seeds, and then plant all of my seeds in the greenhouse. I plant the summer crop seeds I haven't shipped yet, as well as the fall and winter foraging seeds I have, and my 2 broccoli seeds. I retrieve the mayonnaise from the coop and stick a duck egg and dino egg in each mayonnaise machine. The mayo gets shipped, then the rest of the night is spent farming ice slimes for winter roots, then planting the resulting winter seeds in the greenhouse. Day 26 of summer. I grab the 2 mayos from the coop, then sell my 2 chickens and ducks, now that I have everything I need from them. I get a goat's milk from the barn, and sell the sheep as wool is the only item I need from it. I still need the cows and goats as I haven't gotten a large milk or goat's milk yet. Then I farm for some more winter roots, buy some summer spangle seeds, and give Caroline a silver summer spangle. I need 2 hearts with her to be able to get tea leaves and green tea. Then I fish up a single sturgeon. This will be very important tomorrow. For now, I buy a beer from the saloon, donate 1 artifact that gets me to 40 out of 60 donations to unlock Krobus, and then go to Willie's shop. I finally buy the iridium rod, and buy 3 treasure hunters and 3 dress spinners, also for tomorrow. Then I visit the island, harvest the potatoes, tulips and blue jazzes, as well as a wheat, and these plus the beer get shipped. I plant the spangle seeds, mine the clay nodes in the dig site, then leave. I had remembered that there was 1 item locked in summer that I had missed until now. Caviar. This is obtained by putting sturgeon roe in a preserves jar. I could just catch a single sturgeon and stick it in a fish pond, but I'd rather use the Jewels of the Sea skill book to get the sturgeon roe directly. That is a quest for tomorrow. The next thing I do is retrieve the goat cheese from the barn, ship it, craft an oil maker for later, farm for even more winter roots, and plant 5 winter seeds in the greenhouse before passing out in there. Day 27 of summer. After harvesting the dehydrators and lightning rods and petting the animals, I go to the lake fishing spot to fish for sturgeons. Without a fish pond, the only way to get caviar is to fish a sturgeon with a treasure chest with the buff from the Jewels of the Sea book. However, as caviar takes time to process, and sturgeons are unavailable in fall, I have until the end of tomorrow to acquire sturgeon roe. Right before noon, I get some sturgeon roe, so I make a preserves jar and put a sturgeon roe in it. I open some geodes and donate the contents, bringing me closer to Krobus, and then return to the island. I harvest a taro and ship it, then enter the volcano in search of journal notes. I don't find any, and leave the volcano, and then the island shortly after. Before I go to bed, I get a starfruit wine from the keg in the mines, so I stick a parsnip in there to get a juice in a few days. Day 28 of summer. After putting some starfruit through the dehydrators and preserves jars, I check the barn and find both a large milk and a large goat's milk, which I ship. With this find, the only animal products I need now is a truffle and the truffle oil, so I sell both cows and goats. Then I prepare for a skull cavern dive. I buy some extra staircases from the desert trader, then go in. From today's dive, I get 52 iridium bars worth of iridium, 40 gold bars worth of gold, and 6 batteries that I'll turn into crystallariums later. Day 1 of fall. Summer is over, and fall is here. I process some more starfruit, then prepare the farming area in front of the farmhouse. I smelt some gold and iridium, and move some more furnaces to smelt even faster. Then buy 5 of each fall crop seed, and 25 grape starters to make it easier to make raisins. These get planted, taking care to make sure I can reach all of the grape trellises. With that done, I plant all of my mixed seeds. Some of these seeds are artichoke seeds, which is otherwise a year 2 crop that would need to be acquired from a skull cavern treasure floor. I buy some beet seeds and plant those too. I find a truffle outside the barn, which I chuck into an oil maker to make truffle oil before going to the mines. The iridium and gold have finished smelting, so I turn that into 4 more crystallariums. I buy 75 salads and coffees from the saloon, then end the day farming for gold. Before going to bed, I ship that truffle oil. Day 2 of fall. The last of the dried starfruit is done, so I remove the dehydrators to replace them with crystallariums. Then I go to the greenhouse and harvest a sweet gemberry, winter root, crocus, snow yam, hazelnut and hot pepper. These get shipped, which means that every piece of primary forage has been shipped, but there is still the truffle and holly to go. With that done, I open my geodes, donate some items to the museum, then spend the rest of the day farming gold to make crystallariums. At midday, the aged largemouth bass roe is done, so I pick up a common mushroom to put it in the preserves jar in the mines to make pickled common mushrooms. At the end of the day, I rip out the preserves jars in the house and place 6 crystallariums in there. Day 3 of fall. First thing I do is grab the caviar from the preserve jar and the broccoli from the greenhouse. The summer spangles in there are done, so I harvest them and get a gold spangle for Caroline today. I go to the mines and use the gold bars to craft 4 crystallariums before farming for even more gold. At midday, I go to give Caroline her gift. I had expected her to be near the mountain, but it took me a minute to realize she was actually on the island. I head straight there, give her the flower, then leave. I spend the rest of the night farming Omni Geodes from ghosts in Skull Cavern, so that I can reach 60 museum donations, unlock Crobus, and ship a void egg and void mayonnaise. I don't get that many geodes though. I check the keg in the mines. The parsnip juice is done, so I ship it. Day 4 of fall. I harvest the eggplants, harvest the truffle, and sell the pig. With this shipped, I'm done with all animal products. I craft 5 crystallariums from the gold in the mine's furnaces, buy a magic rock candy, then do a skull cavern dive for iridium for more crystallariums. I get 3 artifacts from dinosaurs, as well as a few batteries, and enough iridium ore to make 11 more crystallariums. Day 5 of fall. I harvest the corn, beets, bok choy, tomatoes and hops, putting 1 hop in the keg to make a pale ale. Caroline gets a spangle, then I open my geodes for museum submissions. I finally have enough to unlock the sewers tomorrow. After buying some honey, 1 to ship and 1 to turn into mead, I spend the rest of the night farming gold to craft crystallariums. Day 6 of fall. Today, after 10 days, I have a mature mystic tree at last. I put a tapper on it, and the mystic syrup will be ready on the 13th. Then, I buy 2 void eggs from Crobus before going to the island. I ship a void egg, and use the mayonnaise machine to make a void mayonnaise, and harvest the green beans to ship, and the summer spangles for gold spangles for Caroline. Then, I go through the volcano again, this time in search of journal notes. I just need 3 more to unlock the till spot by the volcano that produces an ostrich egg. I don't get any journal notes in the volcano at all, but once I leave the volcano, I blow up the dig site and this does get me a journal note. 2 left to go. I ship the void mayonnaise from earlier, then go to bed. Day 7 of fall. By the end of today, I really want to at least have one journal scrap. At first, I try to hard force one from the weeds in front of the farmhouse, then I hard force from a combination of the weeds and the tiger slimes in the tiger slime grove. Then I combine the strategy with doing a run through the volcano early in the morning. It takes many attempts. On the successful attempt, I clear the weeds, clear the tiger slimes, clear the dig site, and make my way through the volcano. At 11 AM, I get a journal note from a tiger slime on floor 3. Satisfied with one journal note today, and with one left to go, I use a farm warp totem to return to the farm. At the farm, I harvest the artichokes and amaranth, and get a bunch of jades from inside the house. Then I get a pale ale from the keg, and put a honey in there to get a mead later. Caroline gets a gift right after. Then I harvest the blueberries in the greenhouse, and gather some fishing supplies. One way to get journal notes is through fishing, so I gather my iridium rod, bait, and some tackle, and fish by the island farmhouse. Before I start fishing, I harvest and ship the pumpkins on the island farm. I start fishing, and after about 4 hours, I get the last journal note. I read it, then get the till spot by the volcano, then ship the ostrich egg. There is no ostrich mayonnaise in the game, so I don't need a second egg. I return to the farm, set up my inventory for a skull cavern day tomorrow, then go to bed. Day 8 of fall. Today is just about one single item, the red cabbage seed. This can be obtained from slimes, serpents, and mummies, but getting it from serpents is the fastest way to do it. It takes 2 tries, and on the second try I get 2 red cabbage seeds from a serpent. At 1:50 AM. That was close. I can't plant these seeds today, but there is no issue with planting them tomorrow. Day 9 of fall. I harvest the crystallariums, as well as the cranberries, which I ship, then I plant the red cabbage seeds in the greenhouse. Those will be ready on the 15th. After that, I throw most of my no longer needed items into the shipping bin as well, pick up the mead from the mines, then gift Caroline a gold summer spangle, which brings her to 2 hearts. I enter her tea room, which will cause her to send me the tea sapling recipe tomorrow. This isn't needed, however, as I can just harvest the tea sapling in her room in the last week of fall. I spend the rest of the night farming stone in the mines. Day 10 of fall. I harvest the yam and the fairy roses and ship them. Then I convert all of the money I have into stone to craft staircases. One of the items I'm missing is garlic, and the best way for me to get garlic seeds is Skull Cavern's treasure floors. This is such a high amount of stone that it completely fills up my inventory a few times over. I end up with 443 staircases. I'm still going to convert my jades into more staircases on the 14th, but from now on, I do not need to farm stone. Day 11 of fall. I harvest the jades and the grapes and put the grapes into dehydrators to make raisins. Then I buy 62 salads and go to bed. Day 12 of fall. I ship the raisins, harvest and ship all the crops on the island for extra money, and grab the tent kits from the island chest. Overnight, I make 30,000 G. Day 13 of fall. As tomorrow is Sunday, today is the last jade harvest that I will get before I use them to buy a ton of staircases, so I destroy the crystallariums to get the jades out of them, getting me an extra 50 jades. In addition, the banana and mango trees have finished growing, so I get one of each fruit, as well as a mystic syrup from one of the mystic trees, and ship all of that. With nothing else to do, I go to bed right after 8 AM. Day 14 of fall. I harvest the random crops on the farm, and sell them to Pierre for a total of about 15,000 G. This money is used to buy an extra 44 staircases worth of stone, then I warp to the desert and buy 293 more staircases from the jades I've saved up thus far. I bomb the trees in front of Skull Cavern to clear space for a tent, place a tent, then sleep in it. Tomorrow will require a lot of attempts, so I want as little setup time as possible. Day 15 of fall. Today is the last day in Skull Cavern. There is only one item I need, garlic seeds, and the only way to get them this early on is from treasure floors. Each treasure floor has a chance of about 0.096% of giving me garlic seeds. Each attempt of tunneling down Skull Cavern with my 783 staircases is expected to net around 63 treasure floors, given my daily luck and usage of magic rock candies, which means that each attempt has odds of about 5.5% of getting me what I need. This includes the guaranteed chests on floors 100, 200 and 300. To cut a very long story short, it took 12 attempts over a week, and on the 12th attempt, I get the garlic seeds on floor 200 on the 14th treasure floor of the day. I don't care about any other items in Skull Cavern, so I warp out of there with a farm warp totem and run to the greenhouse to plant them. I ignore the fully grown red cabbages and go straight to bed so that I can save the game. I really do not want to lose those garlic seeds to a game crash or power outage. Day 16 of Fall. With the garlic seeds acquired, let's take stock of the remaining items to ship. These items are garlic, red cabbage, tea leaves, green tea, powdered lemon and holly. The garlic is growing in the greenhouse and the red cabbages are ready to pick. Caroline's tea bush will start growing tea leaves every day from fall 22 to fall 28. I can chip one and put one in a keg to turn into tea. Powder melon seeds become available from fall 21 onwards and take only 5 nights to grow with deluxe speed grow. Finally, holly is only available in winter on the last day of the run. This means that there is now nothing I have to do to further the challenge for most of the days left in fall. What will I do now? Day 22 of Fall. I interrupt this montage now, as the day is actually a significant day. It is now the last week of Fall, which means that Caroline's tea bush is now going to produce tea leaves. I harvest the tea leaves and put them straight into the keg in the mines. But there is another item to get. From the Stardew Valley Fair, I got a prize ticket, and today, the first prize in Mayor Lewis's prize machine is powder melon seeds. I get the seeds and plant them in the greenhouse. These will be ready on the 27th. With nothing else to do, I go straight to bed. Day 23 of Fall. I harvest a tea bush again. Back to the montage. Day 1 of winter. It's finally winter, which means that holly is finally available. I find one near the mines, then ship that along with a garlic, red cabbage and powder melon from the greenhouse, a green tea from the keg in the mines, and tea leaves from the tea bush, harvested on fall 23. Now, every item is shipped. I go to bed, and overnight I get the full shipment achievement. Due to holly only being available in winter, winter 1 is the earliest day in which every item can be shipped. But, as shipping is an overnight process, I don't actually have the achievement until winter 2. What if this run were done seeded? In 1.5, this would be a simple but still quite difficult endeavour. You get to Ginger Island on the 12th, the earliest day it can be done, get a mango sapling on that same day, plant it in the greenhouse, and harvest it 1 month later on summer 12. Every other item is possible to get in this time through the travelling cart, Pierre's missing stock list, or some other unique method. 1.6 added one item that makes this task significantly harder, the Mystic Syrup. In this run, it took me until 4.13 to get the Mystic Syrup, which means 1 month and 1 day needs to be shaved off to get this item in time. To have this be done by summer 12, Foraging Mastery must be obtained by the end of spring, which means that all 5 skills must be maxed out even earlier. Even with a perfect desert festival, a ton of starfruit grown on Ginger Island, and a lot of farming monsters, this would be very difficult to pull off, especially while gathering all the other items for shipping. Due to the difficulty of reaching Ginger Island on spring 12 and getting mastery by the end of spring, I'm not planning on doing a seeded full shipment run anytime soon. Now for the last part of the video, a sort of channel update. The last 8 uploads, including this one, have been related to Stardew Valley, and I'm starting to get burnt out. There are basically 2 issues here. The first is that I've basically ran out of challenge runs that I can reasonably complete in a month. Thus far, out of 11 components of perfection, I have done 3 challenge runs. All star drops, all fish, and full shipment unseeded. Out of the remaining 8, there are 3 issues. For obelisks and the gold clock, I don't have a way of getting 4 to 10 million gold fast enough, and if I did find a way to do it, it probably would not be that interesting. For Monster Slayer Hero and Farmer level, the end date of the run is actually undefined. The hard limit of Monster Slayer Hero is spring 12, when Ginger Island can be reached to kill magma sprites, and the hard limit of maxing out the Farmer level is spring 5, when farming XP can first be acquired in a mass quantity. Neither run is possible in those timescales. Finally, for great friends, cooking recipes, crafting recipes and gold walnuts, the hard limit is all the way in the start of year 2. This presents 2 problems for the run. Firstly, the run would be a lot longer and thus more difficult to complete and edit in a month. And secondly, these runs would just be easier variants of the Habu's Perfection in 115 Days run, and thus less interesting to me and potential viewers. Of course, there are other potential runs not related to perfection. Some of them, like completing the museum, are too short, and some of them, like completing the community centre with an editor section, I don't have ideas for aside from the Craftless run I did a few months ago. The second issue with Stardew Valley videos is that video essay style content is a lot harder to produce than challenge run videos, and less interesting to me as well. To make a long story short, the next few videos are going to be in different games to give me a break from Stardew Valley. I'm still planning on doing an all fish run in 1.6, but that's happening at the end of the year. Thanks for watching this video, and subscribe if you want to see what video I make next.